So a few days ago, Ludwig was talking about all that Hasan shot caller stuff with Kaya, Hasan's dog, and he was like, "Oh, it was a 100% a shot caller, but I don't really know." And now he's walking it all back. It seems he's saying it's not a shot caller, actually, guys. It's just a vibration caller. Seriously, really, 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 Hasan would never shot Kaya, guys. And people are like, he got the call. What the frick? I didn't think this was gonna be animated. Like, I actually thought this was gonna be a picture. That was what the frick, dude? Excuse me, sorry, I completely lost my train of thought by seeing this actually move. I've never seen a moving version of that. It's crazy. Anyways, yeah, let's start with this clip. Ludwig now claims the collar is not a shock collar.
But I want to make sure if I know something, speak honestly. After my stream, I got close-up pictures of the shock collar. On my mother's life. I didn't see prongs. I'm pretty sure it's a vibrate collar. So maybe I should have said 99% sure instead of 100. I'm not making any other comments about whether he has a shock collar, has shocked, or whatever. I never made a comment saying he shocked her to begin with, but I just genuinely saw a picture of it after. It did have tape, and the tape was, I think it was covering or had his phone number on it or some shit. That's what the tape was. I think it was like covering a written. And I saw pictures on my mother's life. I saw a picture of it. Perhaps he went out and bought one. And this was a ruse to fool me, perhaps. Stop farming it. I'm not farming it, but like I genuinely saw it. So it's like, am I supposed to sit here and not say I saw it? Because I saw this after I did the stream. Should I lie? Should I lie and say I didn't? I don't love this shit, bro. I'm just genuinely sitting here as a human. I saw it with my own eyes. And I went on live saying that it was a shot caller. So now I'm saying I saw it with my own eyes.
It's really funny how his own chat like can't stand this nonsense. They're like, bro, please. Like, bro, just stop. Like, dude, are you serious? And other ones already know this is going to get clipped. They're like, hi, LSF. Cutie Cinderella, his own girlfriend, said that she saw the collar and saw prongs removed and electrical tape over it. And Ludwig's over here like, I don't know, man. I saw the collar. It's definitely not a shot collar, man. It's a vibrating collar. And it is interesting that he's saying all this after he got all that backlash from Hasan fans. You remember that? I talked about that the other day, bro. There was freaking like just like dozens of Hasan fans seething at him, crashing out at him on Twitter. I wonder if that pressure also got to him and he's just like, he's trying to like win them back or something. Anyways, excuse me. That takes us back to this clip. Ludwig says it's on Hasan to show the picture.
Show the picture? That's on Hasan. He should show it. First off, I think he's handled this horribly. He took like a day to show the collar. When he showed the collar, he was showing it like it was a condom in his mom's room. He was like covering it. It was very weird. Like, this is not I don't give a shit. This ain't on me. It's on him. I'm just saying I saw it. Don't ask me to show it. I don't give a fuck. I do not care in any way, shape, or form. That is on him. I did not get a boss call. I've not talked to Hasan. I don't think he's trying to, candidly, but...
So hold on a second. He's saying that he saw a picture of the collar, and that seems to be what has now convinced him that it's really a vibrating collar. But he also says that he hasn't talked to Hasan, which would therefore mean that he saw that picture not from Hasan reaching out and saying the picture, but someone else, which is odd. Why is he acting like that's 100% the collar? Even if Hasan sent it, that doesn't mean that's really the collar that's used either. You know, it could be his spin. But it's especially odd when this picture apparently wasn't from Hasan. Was it from like one of his mods or something? Is it his editors like reaching out to Ludwig? Ludwig, I just want you to know Hasan would never do that. Here's the collar. Seriously, bro. Trust me. It's also really funny how in this clip and other ones that we've seen of Ludwig recently where he's addressing the Hasan stuff, he goes out of his way multiple times to talk about how much he doesn't care about any of this as he addresses it over and over again in the worst way possible. And then Ludwig attempts to call out XQC here, which XQC responds, but of course, let's get the context first by watching the clip.
And XQC is probably the single biggest person who is driving the Collargate drama on Twitch, right? You know what XQC says to me at TwitchCon? He goes, I don't give a fuck if he abuses the dog. I don't give a fuck if he's a shot caller. He calls himself, when he's investigating what's happening, the debunker. He has an alter ego called the debunker. I think he finds genuine joy in flaming the drama. He's a chaotic, evil human, and seeing whatever smolders remain after he's done with his mess. Yeah, there's no genuine care behind. It's not. X's not sitting there seeing a injured bird on a walk, going, "Oh, mother, I gotta handle." There's not like a, you know what I'm saying? It is the deep. He has the same alter ego that Dream does when Dream investigates himself. He literally calls himself a debunker. So, like, this is the reality. Is there's not a lot of genuineness there, but there are people who do genuinely care, who are his viewers or whatever involved in it.
This guy's actually going harder on XQC, calling him chaotic evil, than he's been on Hasan. So Hasan, who seems to be shocking Kaya and certainly is mistreating Kaya by forcing her to lay there for hours and hours, not even letting her get up to get water and or stretch on numerous occasions that we've seen on stream where she in fact wants to do that. And Ludwig doesn't say this is evil in any way, shape, or form, not even the lightest form of evil that you could possibly label that with. But when it comes to XQC looking into this stuff, oh, that's chaotic evil right there. Before we get to XQC's response to Ludwig right there, let's actually briefly watch this clip titled "Streamer Reacts to Another Clip of Bro," that being Hasan, reaching for something on his desk and staring down his pet while calling some of the most evil people in history, quote unquote, goated. This just seems like a pretty fitting one to watch really quick after talking about how Ludwig's going lighter on Hasan than he is on XQC for investigating.
Grifter. Yeah, it's funny to see like a black woman do the whole like the Bolsheviks did the real.
Dude, this dog just keeps licking its lips and looking at
genocide of Christians. Like, why doesn't anybody talk about that? It's like, bro, you are literally a black woman. Like, that is crazy. Because that is like, oh, the Jews are responsible for the death of like 60 million Christians. Narrative is like a white supremacist one.
There he goes.
That's not even your gripe. You know what I mean? That's not a conversation that you're a part of.
Oh my God, dude, he reaches.
At all. It's also a ridiculous statement to begin with because, like, you know, the Bolsheviks are goated, obviously. And
is this really lolly?
You know, what Christians were doing, what white Christians were doing to black women at the same time frame was
oh my God,
not great,
dude.
To say the least.
Dude, he's got his hand on the trigger staring at Kaya. Kaya just wants water. Bro, look at how sad this is. He is just staring at that dog who's just whimpering, who just wants to, appears to just want like a little drink of water from the old watering hole.
Down.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. It's disturbing. It is just all kinds of messed up how Hasan treats this dog. Like, I cannot imagine seeing your dog wanting to get water and you're like not letting your dog get water. You're like, no, you gotta stay there. Bro, your dog is freaking dehydrated and you're forcing her to not get water. Otherwise, she's gonna get shocked or something. Like, actually disgusting on many levels. And Hasan praising the Bolsheviks as he's abusing his dog. I mean, that's just the icing on the cake right there. Of course, not in a good way. We're talking about like a very disgusting cake. So I wonder if Ludwig would view this as you know, like neutral evil or like true evil or something. Excuse me. I meant to say lawful evil. I think that's it, right? Lawful evil. But yeah, I'm also being sarcastic. Ludwig apparently would not ever call this behavior evil at all. You know, that's just reserved for XQC investigating what's going on. And that takes us back to XQC's response to Ludwig, where he says, in all caps, Ludwig, my brother, we've been through this. The device 100% has the shocking component. Hold me accountable if you link me the same device and show me a single identical model that does not have the function. I'll give your community a full Bitcoin. Use it for good. But he wasn't done there, adding, without all caps, man, I hate to care this much, but if you're going to denigrate the debunker brand, you got to disprove it. The whole point of the segment is investigating anything on internet and debunking it. It's worth noting. It's worth nothing if all you got to say is wrong. Prove it. The debunker. That's pretty funny. You know, I laugh because it is funny. I'm sure XQC would agree, right? Like, it's supposed to be a meme sounding name. I'm hoping, right? I'm hoping it's supposed to be kind of like a meme. But he is right, too, at the same time. And he's offering Ludwig a whole entire Bitcoin if Ludwig actually backs up what he's saying with evidence. I mean, I don't see how this could be a better response. I mean, he's basically like, you're saying I'm lying, prove it. I'll even give you a Bitcoin if you can prove it. So Ludwig was so confident in condemning XQC on this so-called investigation. Surely he'll be able to prove this and get a Bitcoin out of it, right? I mean, that's a pretty insane deal, really. Oh, but I will add this. If Ludwig was telling the truth about XQC saying that he doesn't care at all about Kaya, that's messed up. Like, bro, how can no one care about that poor sweet dog? It's really freaking depressing what's happening to Kaya. And on that note, we've actually got the next clip, which is actually about that very conversation. Ico Bliss implies Ludwig is not being honest about his conversation with XQC regarding Kaya, it seems. This is part of the quote saying, I was there, no context at all. It wasn't not caring about the animal. That's the only thing that invested him to begin with. He didn't care about Hyper just hating on Hasan. That is an entirely different point than what Ludwig said. Yeah, so let's watch this.
You know what XQC says to me at TwitchCon? He goes, I don't give a fuck if he abuses the dog. I don't give a fuck.
I was there, and that is not the context at all. That was not the context in which Felix was talking about not caring. He was talking about, and this is just from me listening in, not caring about ruining like his life, you know. It wasn't like he doesn't care about not caring about the animal. That's the only thing that's invested him to begin with. Is that he didn't care about like Hyper just hating on Hasan.
So obviously both claims are hearsay. But I'm not really inclined to believe Ludwig. He's made himself come off extremely unreliable. I don't know if that's the best word. He's made himself seem untrustworthy. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. But to be fair, XQC is a bit of a difficult dude to understand. So perhaps Ludwig is not lying here. Maybe he really heard wrong. I don't know. But nevertheless, yeah, it's a significantly different claim. Completely different to be like, I don't care about the dog versus, oh, I don't care about ruining Hasan's reputation. I just care about the dog, you know? So make of that one what you will. And lastly, we've actually got Denims here calling out Ludwig. Says Denims says Ludwig gives her sus vibes.
Streamers, I said like, yeah, there are some streamers that just like, they give me the wrong vibe. Or like, there are some streamers I just like, I don't know, man. Or like, I have my opinions on it, but like, people aren't ready for it. I will say Ludwig is definitely one of them. Where Ludwig kind of always gave me like sociopath vibes. Like he's just in it for himself and he doesn't give a shit about anyone else. And he's always given me that vibe. He's like, there's a look that people give you. I think it's like social anxiety kind of made me more powerful and made me capable of like reading people a little bit better so that I can perceive the situation correctly so I can act correctly. But there are people who talk to you and they look at you. And there are people that talk to you and they look past you. And I don't know how else to describe this phenomenon. I will say, and it impacts how I judge people a lot, whether someone looks at you or looks past you. I will say, in a very bizarre turn of events, XQC was definitely someone who looked at me, not past me. And Lud was definitely someone who looked past me. Like, I don't know what other words to use to describe this. If you know, you know. Like, there's a level of, like, I don't want to call it intimacy because that's not the right word. Or rather, people have a certain connotation with that word that makes it into something more, like, romantic or sexual, and that's not my intention. I mean, like, intimacy in the most platonic way. So I'll try and find a better word, but, like, there are people who, like, hear what you're saying, and there are people that are trying to listen to what you're saying. And this was always a sus vibe. This was always a sus vibe. This was always a sus. I was always like, dude, this guy is definitely just like in it for himself. He's just gonna get his bag and like he's down to get the fuck out. He doesn't care about any of these people. These are like, these are all just like pawns to him. And like the fact that it was so right is crazy. It's so crazy because he's literally saying it in this. He's like, I wouldn't go to any of his funerals, and like 2 of these people are my real friends, and that's it. It's like, God damn, that's fucking cold. That's ice cold. And it's not the thinking it that's the cold part. It's the sharing it that's the cold part. Because if you're cold, if you're ice cold like that, you don't realize nobody else is thinking that way. And when you say that shit, it's weird to other people. Even people who don't fit this on, it's like, damn, You didn't fit him that hard, and you were just like, you were down to farm him when it was beneficial to you, and now that it's not, you're just like, you're dipping. That's ice cold. Holy shit. For no reason, you're just like, because people are coming in chat and being annoying? Damn.
I mean, like I said earlier, Ludwig doesn't come off like a very trustworthy or reliable person, but it is funny to hear her criticizing Ludwig's mental state when she's someone who, if I recall, said that she would pay someone like $30,000 to make Asmongold disappear. I mean, what a pathetic thing to say, really. Super unhinged. So, real throwing stones from glass house moment there. Also, what she said about Ludwig coming off fake and like he's just in it for the money, I think that applies to that entire clique of privileged LA streamers. They all seem like that. They all seem like a bunch of people who would gladly sell out, and they all pretty much have. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I also hope you have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you here in the comments and in the next one.